150,000 federal government employees are out on strike because they said they need a raise because they held Canada together during COVID. Goldberg is with the Canadian Taxpayers Federation and says, well, there's a problem with that. What's the problem? I mean, they're well paid. They've got gold-plated pensions, a job for life. Shouldn't we pay them more because out of gratefulness?
Well, look, they're demanding things like being paid extra for working after 4 p.m. They're asking all overtime should be paid double time. And these are things that the average Canadian just doesn't get. The average compensation for these union employees is $125,000 a year. That's tens of thousands of dollars more than the typical taxpayer who's paying their salary.
So, Jay, how do they have the nerve to go out on strike, just given what you've told us?
Well, I think they've seen the government give out money left, right, and center, and they're hoping that the government's going to cave. But this is $9 billion in extra compensation that they're looking for. We have a big deficit. We're spending $44 billion on debt interest this year at the federal level. Canada can't afford this. And, it's turning into a two-tier system where you have those that work for the government and what they want, and those who are in the private sector and have to live with everyday reality.
I want to go back to something you said, because you said that they see the government handing out money hand and fist to corporations, Volkswagen, all kinds of corporations. Here's some more money. And so they want to be on the gravy train as well. Do you think that the average Canadian who is not on the gravy train, who's working hard, is going to take umbrage at that, or are we just going to take it off?
I don't think so. I don't think people small business owners working 14-hour days are thinking, well, I wish these federal bureaucrats were being paid extra after 4 p.m. I don't think that's on their minds.
So, I mean, really, what's the answer to the end of this? So, you have to hold fast. No increases. They're going to get a small increase.
The government's got to hold fast. This proposal is a non-starter. There is not an extra $9 billion there, so there's no way this could go forward as they're proposing.
Now, I'm told that somebody who manages the lighthouse only gets $40,000 a year. Not that there are many lighthouses left anymore in Canada. But then another person on the other side of the debate I had said, well, yeah, but they get to live in a paid accommodation. I mean, there are exceptions of people who are underpaid in the federal service.
There may be exceptions, but people over the last few years have been hammered. People in the private sector are not getting raises. We've seen massive runaway inflation, cost of living. We need to focus on making taxpayers whole, not on this outrageous proposal from these federal unions.
So it's an outrageous proposal. I think most people would agree with that. So give me your best prediction then. How is this going to end, Jay?
Well, I think it's going to end either if the federal government caves or if the union realizes that they're fleecing taxpayers for too much money and this simply isn't feasible.
The golden fleece no longer. Goldberg, thank you very much. And that's 3 minutes. Justin Trudeau is now on the record as saying that social media is destabilizing. And he wants to bring in censorship to determine what can be put on and not on social media. That is wrong. Please support this station. And please add your address so I can write you a letter and thank you for supporting freedom of speech.